way to our own natural antibodies, and they will bind up these invaders and help our body to clear it out. So I just wanted to sort of clarify and touch on this idea of active and passive immunity. The other point that I wanted to discuss quickly is this idea of herd immunity, and we're hearing a lot about this right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. And so the idea here has to do with the percent of a population that is vaccinated. And so herd immunity is a specific threshold that we can reach. If we can get enough people vaccinated, this can minimize the spread of the disease. And so here in this diagram, you can see unvaccinated individuals are in blue, vaccinated individuals are in yellow, and we go from 0 to 25 to 50 to 75 to 90 to 95% vaccinated. And so now if we run a model where each one of these non-vaccinated individuals can pass this disease on to 2 other non-vaccinated individuals, and we run that model through, you can see the difference in the spread and the transmission rate in the sort of unvaccinated population versus sort of highly vaccinated populations that we see here on the bottom. So let me run this model for you, and I'm going to run through it a few times. It's going to be on repeat, but I want you to sort of focus on what's happening in this top panel, right, where we have under 50% vaccinated, and this bottom panel where we have over 50% vaccinated. Right? And so you can see here as this model is running, right? And again, one individual spreads it to 2, spreads it to 4, right? And look how quickly this model is able to spread in the top, right? In this sort of less than 50% vaccinated. And look how much more slowly it's spreading down here in these highly vaccinated, right? Because if you have all of these vaccinated individuals in between, it slows the spread, it slows the progression, it slows the transmission of this virus. And in the case of COVID-19, slowing this spread, slowing this transmission, right? Every time this is transmitted, in the case of an RNA virus, there's potentials for mutations, right? So this is where the Delta variant came from. The further and faster this spreads, the more likely we are to see different mutations, different variants emerge. And so having highly vaccinated populations minimizes not only the spread, but it slows the ability of the virus to then change and mutate, allowing us to more quickly more quickly achieve a state where we can get not only this infection under control, but again, we can minimize the transmission of this to new individuals. And so now I want to talk a little bit, thinking about this idea of herd immunity and transmission from one individual to the next. As we're thinking about these different disease states, thinking about how they are transmitted is really important, right? Because not all, right, we talked about these infectious agents can be things like worms, protists, bacteria, viruses. All of these things are transmitted in different ways. And so some transmission, as we know, is through closeness or contact. And so this can be things like droplet transmission. We're hearing a lot about this right now. COVID-19 is primarily spread through droplet transmission. And so when an individual coughs or sneezes or talks or gives a lecture, long